Welcome to our midweek message. This is Pastor Reed coming to you from First Baptist Church of Olathe. I'm so glad you're taking the time and the opportunity uh, to watch, to listen. I hope you're encouraged. I hope you're blessed uh, as we chase after Jesus together. On Sunday, I talked about the importance of stewarding our relationships. I talked about a cactus that was left in my office that at one of my stops that didn't get attended to the way it needed to because of my busyness, and how throughout the course of the year that cactus had gone from living and vibrant to just straight dead. It had not been attended to as it needed to be attended to. And I finished the sermon by talking about David's heart for God, and how his hunger and thirst for God, even after all that he had been through with Bathsheba and then his family falling apart, and his son uh, attempting a coup. That it was his thirst for God, not his thirst for power or even sustenance, but it was his thirst for God that was reflected in the psalm. And today I want to talk a little bit about attending to uh, our relationships. You know, we saw on Sunday that our relationships uh, are meant to be a blessing. They're meant to be things that fill our lives with joy, that lift us up when we're feeling down, uh, and that we lift up others as well. And Proverbs 19 or 18:22 says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord." Our wives are meant to be blessings to us. Uh, Psalm 127:3 says, "Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb a reward." They are meant to be a blessing to us, a good gift from God. Our friends are also supposed to be a blessing from the Lord. Oil and perfume make the heart glad, and the sweetness of a friend comes from his earnest counsel. All of our relationships are meant to be our blessings, are gifts from God, um, meant to encourage us along the way, and again, we are meant to encourage them. And so um, I want to ask the question: Are we stewarding our relationships well? And as you ponder that, I would invite you to ask yourself this question: How often do you do things that you would maybe prefer not to do in order to bless one of those blessings in your lives? Are you going with your wife to an event that you would really rather not go to? Are you taking your kids to do something special and fun? Um, do you make time to sit down and have a cup of coffee with a friend? That's the first question. Are we doing that? Are you doing that? And be honest, I have to ask myself, am I doing that? Am I doing that well? Uh, the second thing that I would say is that are we doing it as we go with our wives to an event that we'd rather not go to? Are we showing up and doing so begrudgingly? Are we showing up with the heart of God? Are we taking our kids to do something special begrudgingly, knowing that there's work to be done, or there's games to be watched, or whatever it is for you? Or are we showing up begrudgingly, or are we showing up with the heart of Christ? Are we showing up for our friends for coffee with complaints and gripes, or are we showing up with the heart of Christ to bless, to share grace and love? I think that for many of us, we can show up. We can check the box. I showed up. I was there. It was good. But it's harder for us to show up with the right attitude and the right perspective. And so here's what I would say is that if you're finding yourself checking the boxes, showing up, but you're finding yourself showing up with the wrong heart, I would suggest this, is that when that happens, we need to make sure that we're showing up uh, with the heart of Christ. And I would say that the way that we do that is by investing our time and our energies, first of all, in loving God, in being with God, in reading His Scripture, in praying, in listening. Jesus comes and He shows up amongst us. He lives this life that's not easy. It's not privileged. In many ways, it doesn't look successful. Uh, he shows up and He walks amongst us and He suffers like us. He invests in humanity, something that we couldn't earn or deserve. And then, as He's getting ready to die, he prays to His Father, if there's any other way, Lord, please let this cup pass from me. And the truth of the matter is, Jesus didn't want to come and die, but He came and He lived a life that expressed God's love for us, even when He didn't really want to have to do it. Jesus shows up and He sees people that other people do not see. Jesus shows up and He sees the Samaritan woman at the well. Jesus shows up and He sees Zacchaeus, and he doesn't come with condemnation or with judgment, but He comes with love, seeking to invest in them, to love on them, to share life with them. That's the heart of Jesus. That's what I'm talking about. When we show up, we've got to come not begrudgingly, but with love, with grace, with peace, for our family and for our friends. I hope you're encouraged. Don't check the boxes. Show up with the heart of Christ. Be blessed. Be a blessing.